What's up, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live here on a Sunday, and it's a Sunday that's been circled on Titans fans' calendars for a long, long time as the Titans finally face off again against now Eagle A.J. Brown. And we've been talking about this all week leading up to it, but finally game day and a big opportunity for the Titans to validate their philosophy on how to run an NFL football team by going out there and having a chance to beat A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, the best record in the NFL. The Titans coming off a crushing loss with a chance at revenge last Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals. But we're going to have a great day of pregame, halftime, and postgame show. Titans on the road today in Philly. Buck Rising is at the link covering for A to Z Sports, and Sam Phelan sitting in for Zach Bingham today. I'm Austin Stanley. Welcome in Titan Game Day Live. This is the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show. We'll talk a lot about Buddy Allen Carpet One throughout the day. We also have our halftime show and our postgame show coming up as well, but we're going to have a great start to this. But Sam, before we get going officially, you got to tell the people what they got to do.
Well, first of all, let's go. I'm pumped up for this one. Titans and Eagles, like you said, it's been on the calendar, kind of circled. This is the date that's been looming. I think this is going to be a fun game and certainly something to be excited about for Titans fans. So happy game day, ready to go. And before we go this morning, make sure you share the show, A to Z Sports, however you consume our pregame, our morning shows. Just share it on whatever platform you're on. If that's Facebook, if that's YouTube, if it's a retweet on Twitter, share it to your friends. It is such an important day for the Tennessee Titans and Tennessee Titans fans. So let's get all the fans involved on this pregame action, Austin.
Absolutely. So let's get it going officially. Welcome into Titan Game Day Live. This is once again, the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show. Buddy Allen Carpet One always giving you free in-home measures and estimates if you go to BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com. Also, thanks to our other Titan Game Day Live season sponsors, Mr. Good Roof. How about this? Call or go to MrGoodRoof.com to have a free estimate on your roof. Then, when you mention A to Z Sports, you get $500 off a full roof replacement. That's once again at MrGoodRoof.com. The Barton Insurance Group, Middle Tennessee's premier insurance provider for both personal, home, and auto coverage, plus small to mid-sized businesses. Barton Insurance Group, LLC.com. Crumble cookies made fresh every day. There's a Crumble cookies near you. Download the Crumble Cookie app. And of course, the BetMGM app. Download BetMGM and use our code ATOZ Sports. Get a risk-free bet on pro football up to $1,000 with your first bet on pro football. So Sam in for Zach today. This is, again, a massive game, right? And when you go back to April 28th, the night of the draft where A.J. Brown was traded to the Eagles, we all know this. The Titans were getting smoked around the NFL about trading away an elite wide receiver one who was still under contract with the Titans with Derrick Henry and how this offense is set up. That was their philosophy. Go draft Treylon Burks, who is going to be so much cheaper than a $100 million contract that A.J. didn't get from the Eagles. Today, Sam, the Titans can validate that philosophy and validate that move if they can beat the Eagles on their home turf.
Yeah, I mean, the Treylon Burks trade and I guess the A.J. Brown trade for the draft pick, which the Titans took Treylon Burks, it doesn't boil down to one game at the end of the day. Like, this is not the end-all, be-all of whether or not that philosophy was smart or if it was a smart trade at the time. But, Austin, it's certainly going to help the narrative and like the national attention towards the Titans and what they do. If Treylon Burks has a big day and the Titans can beat the Eagles, all of a sudden a lot of heat comes off of that trade of saying they knew what they were doing. They were just making it a sustained success and a long-term goal rather than paying AJ the money up front. So yeah, I don't think it's like the end all be all for the trade. But yeah, in terms of getting over the hump of the A.J. Brown trade, addressing the constant chatter, a win today goes a very, very long way.
Yeah, it absolutely would. And I think I saw Jim Wyatt tweet out the video of A.J. Brown hugging GM John Robinson, which is something that you always find interesting. It's easy to do a pregame hug, but several months ago, there was a lot of discourse between A.J. Brown's camp and the Titans organization when it came to contract negotiations that I still don't think were negotiated in good faith completely from the A.J. Brown side of things. But they had to make, John Robinson, and we've been over this, said that he had to make that move for the best of the franchise. And so now it comes up against, can the Titans do enough offensively to play against this Eagles defense that's getting Jordan Davis back? They signed Ndamukong Suh to replace Jordan Davis. Now they got them both. And Derrick Henry's offense and his rushing attack has been slowed down over the last few weeks after having a great stretch through October. But the Titans also do get Ben Jones back at center. So you have to feel good about where the Titans offense can be going into this Eagles game, because the passing game has come alive the last few games.
Yeah, Ben Jones back, I really think is kind of like under the radar when you look at it from the grand scheme of things in the NFL, being like, okay, they got their center back. Titans fans know how important Ben Jones is to setting the tone for this offense, for this offensive line, and for the run game of Derrick Henry. But yeah, I'm really excited to see these two offenses work, two offenses that really have had different approaches, as we mentioned, with the culture, the approach the Titans have taken. The Eagles have gone all in on this season. They've signed all the veteran players, from Ndamukong Suh and trading for Robert Quinn and doing everything Philly has done. They traded for A.J. Brown in the offseason. They've used first-round picks on wide receivers. The Titans have taken the approach of trusting what they have, trusting their coaching, keeping their philosophy and scheme the same, and trusting that those bread and butter schemes come out on top and they go head to head. So, but hopefully, as much as everybody wants to point at Treylon Burks today and the Titans passing game, we know it starts with Derrick Henry. It starts with, can they run the football? Ben Jones and the offensive line are critical to that. They cannot have the same effort they did against Cincinnati last Sunday.
Yeah, and Mudgy brings it up, and I just want to I want to take this opportunity. Cody Hollister is out today, and his stats will be missed from Mudgy Ferris. So, all right, Sam, let's go ahead and get this to this part of our pregame show. What's the single most important thing for the Titans going into this game against the Philadelphia Eagles? What is the single most important thing for the Titans to do going into this game against the Eagles? We want your, your comments on this, what the Titans have to accomplish today against the Eagles. But let me tell you guys about our great sponsor. This is the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show. Buddy Allen Carpet One Nashville.com is the website. They are locally owned and operated by the Allen family for now over 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. Buddy Allen Carpet One always offers you free in-home measures and estimates. They have in-house professional installers. That's not like the big box company. So it's really impressive that a locally family-owned company can do this with their professional in-house installers. It saves you money because you get experienced flooring work done by those certified installers. You save money, qualified work, guaranteed, only at Buddy Allen Carpet One Nashville.com. Here on the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show, the question we're asking now, what's the single most important thing for the Titans to do going into this game against the Eagles? Sam, I will send you to the chat on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
That boy Tree says create turnovers. Mr. Jones says be more physical. Titans Kyle says control the trenches. Eric says get the run game going. Jonathan believes the defense needs to shut down the run of Philly. Kendrell says QB spy. Yamahama wants them to just get out to an early lead. Jason says get the run game going. Andrew says blocking up front for Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Let's see what Fleetwood Titan with a pretty basic one here, but stop Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Just stop Jalen Hurts. And Caleb says get Treylon Burks involved early. Austin, for me, my biggest key the Titans need to do, we talked about it earlier this week, control Jalen Hurts' legs. You cannot afford to have Jalen Hurts, such a mobile and athletic quarterback, extending the play. It has been what really has been the Achilles heel of a Titans defense that has been very, very good otherwise over the last 8 weeks or so, 9 weeks. But we saw it with Joe Burrow. We saw it with Patrick Mahomes. When these quarterbacks get out of the pocket, they extend a play, they keep plays alive, they keep drives alive, and they ultimately put points on the board. So keep your rush lanes, keep contain, make Jalen Hurts beat you as a passer, and the Titans defense will be better off.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you go defensive Titans side of things. I'm going to go offensive for the Titans because I really think it's important for the Titans to play as clean as possible on the offensive side of the football. So that is no turnovers, right? Ryan Tannehill can't fumble. He can't throw a pick. Nobody can make a turnover for the Titans offense. But I also think this one's important too because we've seen this in literally every second half the Titans offense goes out there, there is some type of avoidable penalty that puts the Titans offense in a situation where Ryan Stonehouse is punting on like 4th and 9. And so I think it's limit dumb penalties, and that's pre-snap on the offensive line. That's holds that are unnecessary by the offensive line, and then also not fumble the football. I think it's so important for the Titans to be able to play clean, to keep pace with the Eagles, because we also know this, Sam, the Titans play at a slow pace in the NFL. They try to limit those total possessions to have that game be a lot closer because there's not a lot of opportunity to run away from the Titans on the scoreboard because of the pace. And so if the Titans can't move the football and they get stuck punting 3 and outs, and that just gives the Eagles an opportunity to really build on something, because the Titans defense, as great as they have been for the majority of the season, they're going to break at some point. And we've seen that at times that they've been phenomenal for the first 3 quarters. In the 4th quarter, the dam breaks, and you can't blame the Titans defense. They're doing what they have to do. They have to be helped out by the offense playing as clean as possible. So that is my one most important thing. A clean game offensively from 17, which also includes Todd Downing. No questionable play calls. I don't want to see Malik Willis taking a direct snap or going in motion on a 3rd down. That's unnecessary. Play clean.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be play calls we don't all agree with that you can question in hindsight, but I know what you're saying. It's the play call that is very clearly a questionable process that puts them in a position to fail, like the Malik Willis direct snap that results in a fumble and a turnover, or throwing a screen pass to Jeff Swaim when you have yards that you need to get after the catch, different situations. And then, yes, ultimately, I agree with you that we've heard all season, why can't the Titans offense score in the second half? Well, they say it's execution, it's dumb penalties. Well, you can't afford to not execute and pick up dumb penalties against good teams. And that's so far why the Titans have failed to beat good teams in the NFL this season. They can play a clean second half. They probably have a good chance to win.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, before we get on to our good matchup on the Titans side of things, how do you feel about the Titans being able to line up and guard A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins, and the receivers and the weapons that the Eagles have on the outside?
I'm not too worried about it. I've been saying this all week. I think if the Eagles beat the Titans, I don't think it's A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith deep. I think it is Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts' athleticism beating them, and they're like wearing them down. And sure, those guys are going to make plays, but pound for pound, we've seen the Titans stack up pretty well against most receiving rooms that they've played over the last few weeks. Trey Avery has really come along. Christian Fulton, for the most part, he's had a couple tough games or tough moments here or there, but you know what you're going to get out of him. And having Amani Hooker back kind of settles in this secondary a little bit. I'm not too worried about A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. I just think you have to contain Jalen Hurts, because if you let these plays go for 10 seconds, as you said, eventually things are going to break. You have to be able to get pressure up front. I think that was the issue with Cincinnati. Everybody looked at T. Higgins' big game and said, well, T. Higgins got the best of Christian Fulton. I looked at it and said, you got no pressure on Joe Burrow. He had all the time in the world to find T. Higgins and make something happen to one of these guys.
Anthony says, Sam, are you serious? I saw somebody else in the comments. Jamal says, you're bugging, Sam. People aren't buying what you're selling when it comes to that.
I mean, that's fine. I know the Eagles have wide receivers. At the end of the day, I think it's the least of your worries. When you look at this offense, they run the football first. Their ability to run the RPO is something very unique to the Eagles offense that the Titans really haven't seen so far this season. They haven't met a quarterback as athletic as Jalen Hurts, or really a run game that's as consistently strong as Philly's is. So yeah, you have the weapons downfield. It's what makes them such a good and such a balanced team. But I don't think we're going to look back on this game and say, man, A.J. Brown really torched us down the field for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. And if he does, I'll sit here and stand corrected on the post game and eat my words.
Well,
I'm more worried about the run.
You're not by yourself. Ken says, I buy it, Sam. Teddy Wop says he's with Sam. Then Orlando says, Sam is so naive. Steve says he agrees with Sam. Hurts is what scares him. John's calling your comments Dollar Tree comments. So hey, look, I don't necessarily completely disagree 100%, but I do think obviously a big time challenge for the Titans defense of having to guard all 11, right? Because you're having to play defense on all 11 because of what Jalen Hurts can do with his legs. It makes it that much more difficult overall. You can't have one guy just completely mess up. I think the Titans are going to play a lot of zone, which they're going to give up a lot of underneath completions and, make the Eagles put together 15 play drives to go score a touchdown. If they can put together 12 play drives and then kick a field goal, that's a big time win for the Titans defense, in my opinion.
You also forget the Titans rush 4 most of the time. And when you're dropping that many guys back into coverage, a team like the Eagles is probably a little bit more likely to stay on the ground. I think too, Austin, it helps. I'd be more worried if Dallas Goedert was out there. And if they had Dallas Goedert healthy, it just adds another element, especially in the red zone, of a guy that can beat you. But without him, I think, you simplify things enough for this Titans defense. Like I said, if A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both have 100 yards and a touchdown, I'll hop on here and be looking like a fool. And I'm completely willing to look like a fool. But I think primarily stop the run for me is what the Titans defense needs to do, not really be as worried about those wide receivers.
All right, live on the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show, Buddy Allen Carpet One, Nashville.com, always giving you free in-home measures and estimates for new flooring. You should absolutely check them out. Buddy Allen Carpet One, Nashville.com is where to go. Sam, I'm going to ask you, who's got the goods? Who's got the good matchup today for the Titans? That's coming your way here in a second. But let me tell you guys about Mr. Good Roof. MrGoodRoof.com. They specialize in roofing, gutters, windows, and more. They are fully insured, licensed, and bonded. How about this? Go to MrGoodRoof.com. Call them. Have a free estimate. Once you have a free estimate on your roof, you can tell them that A to Z Sports sent you, and you get a $500 discount on a full roof replacement. So all you got to do, look, it's free for you. You just call them, go to their website, set that up, come out. There's free for you to have your roof inspected. And then if you need something, great. You save $500 because A to Z Sports works with Mr. Good Roof. If you don't need anything, then no sweat. You can go through the holidays without that hanging over your head, literally, pun intended. Also, how about this for Mr. Good Roof? Shingle Bells for Veterans is underway now. Mr. Good Roof's annual full roof giveaway. This 6th year they're doing it. They're giving away a full free roof to someone in the community this year, honoring a veteran in Sumner County. So if you know a veteran in Sumner County who could use a free roof, go to MrGoodRoof.com for more information and for that nomination. That's once again, MrGoodRoof.com. Sam, who's got the goods today?
It is a tough one. It's hard to find a matchup that on paper the Titans probably have over Philly because of how deep this team is and how well balanced the Eagles are. But if there's one I'm going for, look, I really want to say Treylon Burks. You know how bullish I have been on Treylon Burks recently. I'm going to go with Austin Hooper. The Titans have 4 wide receivers active today, one of which is C.J. Board, who is completely used as a special teams threat. So it's right. Robert Woods, Treylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, and who else? I think this is a big week for the Titans to get the tight ends involved in their offense. We've seen it kind of gradually growing week after week with Austin Hooper and Chigakonkwo on 3rd down. I think this is a big week that Tannehill relies on Hooper in the red zone and on 3rd down to keep this passing offense alive with just really 3 offensive wide receivers active.
I don't hate that at all. I think I was curious if that's where you were going to go for this because, who's playing wide receiver? It's literally just Robert Woods, Burks, and NWI.
Assuming C.J. Board isn't on offense, I don't know what their plan is for C.J. Board offensively. I haven't really seen him in any of the walkthroughs working in with the offense. He is primarily a returner. And if he's not with the offense, like you said, you have 3 wide receivers. So you have to get the tight ends involved. Maybe Dontrell Hilliard, maybe.
I think Yeah, Dontrell Hilliard, I think this could be a good opportunity for Chig, but I don't hate. I think Traylon Burks is going to get targets. I have the BetMGM app open right now. How about this? There is no over/under total for Chig yards. Dontrell Hilliard's is 10.5. That's pretty good. You can get Dontrell Hilliard over 10.5 receiving yards. That's solid. I just took Austin Hooper over 20.5 receiving yards. Traylon Burks is at 46.5. So I think there's some opportunity there for.
I've been tempted to tease a Traylon Burks. I call it the Traylon Burks parlay, which is 5 catches, 70 yards, and an anytime touchdown score from Traylon Burks. If we're banking on the statement game, those odds were coming in pretty nice on BetMGM.
Yeah, one thing I did not do is check out the weather in Philly. I know it's in the Northeast and it's probably a little chillier than it is, but it's freezing down here in Nashville today. But I have seen that it looks pretty clear from what I can tell. So I'm pulling up my new AccuWeather app that you guys have turned me on to. It's actually significantly warmer in Philadelphia today than it is in Nashville. So it's 44, feels like 50. Hammer was quick on the draw right there with that weather report there from Philadelphia. So feels like 50, feels like the Titans offense can do some things in the passing game if that's the type of weather that they're going to get. So, Hammer says he's from PA. So he's up there in Pennsylvania, just steps outside and tell us what it feels like. So appreciate that, Hammer, over there on YouTube there. So you think Austin Hooper has a matchup? I think I like the Dontrell Hilliard sides of things too. I think Dontrell Hilliard could have a nice game today. So we'll see what happens in that standpoint for that. So let's officially get to this, Sam. Our predictions. Who wins? The Titans or the Eagles? The Eagles are favored by 4.5 points. That line has stayed steady all week long at BetMGM. Who wins? We want your official predictions here live on our pregame show as kickoff is about 7 minutes away, and the game is on Fox today. Remember, that's on Fox, not CBS, but on Fox today. Titans at the Eagles. Who wins? And always presented by BetMGM. If you download the BetMGM app and you use our code, which is ATOZ Sports, then you make your first deposit. Then your first bet on pro football is risk-free up to $1,000. It's really easy like that. Your first bet, if you want to go Titans money line, you can for that risk-free bet up to $1,000 with BetMGM and code ATOZ Sports. There's a lot of opportunities there. So download the app today. Use code ATOZ Sports. Risk-free bet on pro football up to $1,000. Sam, what's the chat saying on these predictions? Titans at Eagles -4.5.
Surprisingly, Austin, I think there's a lot of positivity in the chat today. Roy says Titans win by 9. Jordan says Eagles 27-20. Kevin says Titans win 21-17. Gabriel believes it's a 31-17 Eagles win. John has a 21-20 Titans win. Dom just thinks the Titans will cover. Jason says the Titans by 3. Last-minute field goal by Randy Bullock, who is back.
That's right.
Troy says the Titans will win. That boy Tree says Titans 27-24. Billy has 27-24 Titans. Tighten Up Ohio has 26-24 Titans on a Randy Bullock field goal. Andrew with the negative one of the group has 34-10 Philadelphia. Clayton 24-21 Titans. Guy has 27-24 Eagles. Do you want to go? Do you want me to go?
I'll let you go. By the way, the total for today is 44.5. 44.5.
It's a really good line because here's my final score. I didn't know that line. I asked you, you said you didn't know before the show, so I haven't looked at it. But the score that I picked in my head, Titans 24, Eagles 20. A road win for the Tennessee Titans. Austin, this is one of these ones. Everything on paper tells me the Eagles are going to beat the Titans. I have a hard time seeing it. And that's exactly why I think they're going to win. Because it's a Mike Vrabel team. And when you have a Mike Vrabel underdog game, you just have to take the Titans. I think it's a more of a dogfight and less points on the board than maybe people want to believe. I don't think Tennessee gets up to 27 points and can win a shootout with Philly. But if you can muddy up the game and control the clock, 24-20 Titans. win over Philly in Philly. Statement victory. Tighten up today on a victory
right.
Monday coming tomorrow is what I'm predicting.
Okay. All right. Sam's talking big. I don't feel the same way. I think it's a 31-21 Eagles win over the Titans. 31-21. Who knows? Like a 10-point game in the NFL could be very close. It also could be a blowout. We've seen that on both
points. That's a
Yeah,
lot of points.
on the Titans defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
A Titans defense that went 8 weeks without giving up 20 points in regulation.
but again,
They played the Kansas City Chiefs.
I
They didn't
know.
give up 20 points in
Yeah, but
regulation.
Danico Autry was a beast in that game. There's
Well,
no
they
Danico
got-
Autry. They can't. They have Bud Dupree. Yes, they have Jeff Simmons, who I think is still a little hobbled, but he's going to still play well. I just think Danico Autry allows the Titans defense to be a little leaky. And that's not a good thing when you're playing against an offense that ran for 360 last week. I think the Eagles score a lot of points. I think the Titans scoring 3 touchdowns. There you go. I think 31-21 is where I have the Eagles winning yet another game to improve their best record in the NFL.
Yeah, I'll double down on my prediction here. If the Titans score 3 touchdowns, they win this game.
Okay.
If they score 3 touchdowns, they're going to win. If they lose this game and it's an ugly one, like you said, where they just look overmatched, I think it's because their offense doesn't put up points and Philadelphia stops the run. But I believe in the Titans defense. I believe in the growth that they've had to at least keep this close, make it a messy game, and give their offense a chance to win. That's why I have a lower total. But I think if they score 3 touchdowns, Titans win the game.
All right. I think this game's going over that 44.5, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, A to Z Sports. Thanks, everybody. We're a couple minutes away from kickoff. This has been the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show. Buddy Allen Carpet One, Nashville.com. They always give you free in-home measures, estimates at Buddy Allen Carpet One, Nashville.com. Also, special shout out, Mr. Goodroof for Who's Got the Goods. Sam thinks Austin Hooper and the tight ends could have a big day today for the Titans. Mr. Goodroof, call or go to MrGoodroof.com for a free estimate on your roof. Then if you need something done, you can tell them A to Z Sports sends you for a $500 discount on a full roof replacement at MrGoodroof.com. Also, special shout out to our other Titan Game Day Live sponsors, Barton Insurance Group, Middle Tennessee's premier insurance provider for both personal, home, and auto coverage, plus small to mid-sized businesses, Barton Insurance Group, LLC.com. Crumble Cookies, download that app as well, and bet MGM. And we will see you guys for the halftime show. Enjoy the first half. Talk to you guys soon. Appreciate it as always.